Hi, my name is Ryan Ortiz. I'm a freshman here at RIT, and there's a couple basic points that I want to cover, considering the fact that RIT orientation here doesn't really cover much of what to expect in freshman life. One main example of this is the terrible registration issues we got here. For the most part, registration is this process that you're going to need to get used to and learn how to deal with, especially as soon as you finish your first quarter here. Main issue with that is that it's online, your registration. You've got to be able to wake up early enough up in the morning to get the classes you want. So a good thing to do is to usually make your own schedule, plan out several different schedules, in fact, and to figure out which one you want. Because it's very rare that anyone will ever get the first schedule that they really want, and this is mostly due to the fact that the servers usually crash in the morning, and registration usually starts around like 6 a.m. on whichever day it'll tell you, and at that point in time you're probably going to want to get up at least half an hour early just to get ready for it. If you're one of the few lucky ones, you can log in as soon as it switches from 5:59 to 6, and you might be able to get on there long enough before the server crashes. But usually at that point in time there's also hundreds and hundreds of other students that will be up around that time. So servers will usually crash, and you'll have about, I'd say, about an hour's worth of time where you just sit there staring at your computer screen waiting for the servers to go back online. Best part to do about that is to try to stay awake in that morning for as long as possible to figure out which classes you really want to take. Because there's a couple core classes that you really are going to need to worry about, and to worry about which ones, what they can fit into your schedule. And if you're unable to get up early enough, you might get pushed out of the course that you really requiring. And there's a couple ways how to get passes, which is unmet needs, but I wouldn't count on that being as the perfect way on how to get past this issue. So get up early, make sure you have your computer and your different schedules set up for this, and you should be fine on registration day. But make sure you take it seriously, because a lot of students don't, and they get screwed out of their schedules, and they take forever to figure out how they're going to do their schedules after that.
I'm Josh, and I'm also a freshman here. A few more things that you need to know that you don't necessarily learn during orientation are, firstly, meal plans. During orientation is pretty much the only time that you have to switch meal plans. After that, you're stuck with whichever one you chose. The trick to meal plans is most students don't have time for 3 meals a day. As you probably notice, the meal plans reflect that. Gracie's food gets old fast, and your best defense against this is to eat at other places pretty frequently. But all the meal plans only have only up to 5 meals a week can be eaten at other places. Based on the meal plan that you chose, you get a certain number of debit, which basically acts like a bank account at RIT. And for instance, if you choose the 10+ meal plan, you get 10 meals a week, 5 of which can be used at other places on campus, and then you also get $400 for the whole quarter to spend on whatever you want on campus that takes food debit. Different meal plans have different amounts of debit and different number of meals that you get a week. Another thing that I want to touch on is, depending on your major, you're going to have to deal with something called mastering chemistry or mastering physics. These are basically the online guide, or like an online curriculum that goes with your in-class curriculum. And it's a third-party website that the school uses, not my courses, that you need to check regularly for homework assignments that your professors don't always tell you about. And the point of it is to be helpful and to aid you in learning material, but in all reality it's a big pain, and if you don't check it frequently, you're likely to get some bad grades. And finally, my courses, the online RIT website that a lot of professors use for grades and assignments and things like that, you need to check it frequently, because oftentimes, again, teachers like to put assignments on there, and if you don't keep an eye on it, you might miss important things. And as a side note, Dropbox, the internal application that a lot of teachers use for you to submit assignments, the trick to it is once you upload a file, you're not done. You need to make sure to hit submit, or your teacher will never get your file. And I've had it happen to me a few times that you don't get credit for doing the 3-page essay because your teacher never got it. So always make sure to hit submit.